thank you for coming to our studio.
It's my pleasure.
And at the beginning, I would like to ask you to briefly describe the topic of your speech.
So the topic was trying to discuss a little bit of the challenges, but also the opportunities of the ITC industry. It's an industry that is going through a number of changes, but where there are a lot of opportunities ahead. To do this, probably large companies need to start behaving like small companies and start working better with startups and entrepreneurs. And I was basically focusing on what are the challenges around the core networks, the challenges around big data, and how to make Internet of Things a reality for end users.
Before we talk about those challenges, let's talk a little bit about those problems that you currently face, so which are, for example, peer-to-peer networks.
Yes, so what I see is the telco industry is going through a phase where the subscriber base is getting saturated and the amount of content into the network is increasing. Telecommunication companies have gone through three phases. The first one has been going around enabling voice, and the second one has been about enabling fixed connectivity, and the third one has been about enabling mobile connectivity. The next one is where the big question mark is, and probably is going to be around services and bringing value to the end consumer and the customer. Now, regarding peer-to-peer networks, I think it has been the most beautifully engineered piece of code that we've done over the last years.
So what's the problem with peer-to-peer?
There is no problem. It has actually helped design and explore a lot of the things that now are going to define the future internet. The main problem is that, like everything, if it is not embedded into the network, if you build it over the top, there are always challenges. You enable a lot of innovation, but for instance, a lot of the peer-to-peer traffic that could come from your neighbor, now you have to go all the way through the backbone network to the United States or the other side of the continent to bring it, while you could get it from a much closer point in your network. So there is room for optimization and provide a better customer experience, but I think the main role of peer-to-peer networks is not so much on the file sharing application, but it's the platform that it enables for experimentation and for people to try out their ideas. It has really been able to be critical to define the future internet design.
Well, what about big data? It seems like we're not even aware of what we can do with it.
Yes, I think big data is cellular phones. They generate a lot of data, and it's data that can be very useful for social goods. It can be very useful to understand how crowds move around the cities. So you can contain viruses spreading. It is very useful to do preventive health care. For instance, diabetes is highly correlated with your activity. Or people with bipolar disorder, you can understand whether they're going into a remission phase by seeing their activities, and that's useful information that doctors can have. Or designing where to put the next Starbucks, or where to put the next playground for kids in a city. Big data is the next big oil, but the most important thing is how to provide value to customers and something that they benefit from.
So how we can do this?
So first of all, making customers aware of that data and sharing it with them. I think customers taking their personal data and understanding about themselves as much as others do about themselves is very important. And I believe that as the PC was the platform for software development over the last 20 years, and then it became the cloud as the platform for software development, it will be the user as a data representation of itself that will become the next platform. And you will be able to help you with all the quantified self-movement, understanding how you move, at what time you go to sleep, how much do you spend, in what, and better manage your finance, or live a better and healthy life.
Thank you very much for this interview.
You're very welcome.